And they are going to be facing the Oklahoma Sooners' Mark Redmond with a record of 12-3 and a fine ERA of 2.87. Features a high 80s fastball that he likes to move in and out around the plate. He has a good changeup, a good curveball, and he doubles up on his pitches, which means if he comes inside with the fastball, he'll come inside with it again consecutively. And behind the dish tonight is Javier Flores. At first base, a very large target at 6'7" is Ryan Miner. And at second base, a Big 8 Player of the Year is Rick Gutierrez. The shortstop is Rich Hills. At third base, a converted shortstop, M.J. Marinani. In left field is Eric Thomas, an academic Big 8. In center field, covering the big patch, is Chip Glass. And in right field is Darvin Trailer.
Weather conditions, another beautiful night in Omaha. 81 degrees, a slight chance of rain. The wind will be a factor, blowing 15 to 20 to left field, and we saw some shots in batting practice. Even from left-handers who went the other way, and the ball got out of here in a hurry. Jay Wagoner hitting .409, number 1 on the club, with the Southeastern Conference record for base hits, 115 this year. Broke Dave Magadan's all-time record. Fouled out of play. Dick Runchie out of Plymouth, Michigan, behind home plate. Down at first, Bob Nelson. Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania. From Gainesville, Florida, John Magnuson at second. And over at third from Austin, Texas, is Tim Henderson, the umpiring crew for tonight. And boy, Redmond comes right over the top.
Actually, if you're a left-handed hitter, you'd rather see a big, tall lefty right over the top than any other place. If he comes from the side, you might end up your feet in the dugout. But we asked Coach Hal Baird why his best hitter hits leadoff. And he said, hey, I want my best guy up there as many times as I can.
Fanned him. Rosenblatt used to be known as a pitcher's ballpark, but moving home plate out has shortened the dimensions. 332 down both lines, 360 to the alleys, and 408 to dead center. It used to be 420. And a lot more friendly to guys with sticks in their hands, especially with the wind blowing.
Especially when they're aluminum sticks.
Sean McNally takes a fastball in there.
Here you get a look at the problems the right fielders are going to have early in this ball game. As you can see, any low line drive is definitely going to be a problem, especially if you use that glove.
Fouled out of play, and quickly McNally in an 0-2 hole. And pitching has really been the story of the College World Series so far. We've seen some tremendous jobs turned in. Redmond ahead 0-2 after striking out the first batter, and a little high with that fastball.
You know, one of the concerns of pitching coach Vern Rule of the Oklahoma Sooners was that Redmond would have a slow start. He is notoriously a slow starter, and if he gets out of the first couple of innings unscathed, he's very, very tough.
That one's fouled out of play. The count holds at 1-2. McNally expected to move into the bullpen next year. Third baseman this year. They look for him to be a closer next season. One and two, inside corner, got him. So Redmond fans the first two he faces. I guess he's found his rhythm in a hurry, Fred.
Yeah, and he is really spotting his fastball early in this game. He's coming out here, and as you can see, that is a cross seamer, and it's on the inside corner, and it freezes McNally.
Second baseman Mark Bellhorn stands in. He'll be facing 90-mile-an-hour fastballs from Brian Redmond. Bellhorn takes one outside. This young man still recovering from a severe hospitalization with pneumonia, lost 25 pounds, was in the hospital for 3.5 weeks. Wow, that was straight back, just got a piece. And in this day and age, you normally don't see that happen, but it was misdiagnosed to begin with, and he just got worse and worse.
You see the misdiagnosed part happen a lot, but you don't see guys coming back from losing 25 pounds.
But he's hitting .373 and was right on that fastball, fouled it straight back.
And his coach told us when he came back he was weak as a kid, and he grabbed his bat and felt like he was lifting weights, and he got 2 knocks the first game.
The last 8 games, he appears to be recovered, hitting .531 over that span, just inside. And Mark Redmond thought he had struck out the side.
There you get a look at the coach, Hal Baird.
Struck him out, and he does fan the side. Top of the first, 1, 2, 3, and 3 strikeouts from Mark Redmond. We'll go to the bottom of the first. The score, 0-0. Let's look at the Oklahoma lineup. Larry Cochell, in his 4th year with the Sooners, has a 46-17 club. He's the only coach to bring 3 different schools to the series. Eric Thomas leads it off for Oklahoma. He's the starting left fielder. Right fielder Darvin Traylor is the second batter. He's at .357. Another senior, Rick Gutierrez, bats 3rd, the Big 8 Player of the Year. Damon Minor, the cleanup hitter, is the DH. He leads the club with 13 homers. Shortstop Rich Hill bats 5th, hitting .343. The number 6 man is Chip Glass, a senior. He's the team's left fielder. Third baseman M.J. Mariani hits in the 7th hole. He's a junior. Ryan Minor, Damon's twin brother, is 8th in the order and will play first base. And batting 9th, the freshman catcher, Javier Flores.
And here's the man, folks, John Powell. Of course, he's got quite an act to follow. He's the all-time strikeout leader, and the other guy's already struck out the side. But he knows how to strike out a few people himself, and he does it with a good fastball. He spots it well, has a good curveball, and he has a split-fingered fastball, which is his bread and butter pitch. Here's the catcher tonight, Robert Lewis. Jay Waggoner's at first, leading the team with a .409 average. At second base is Mark Bellhorn. At shortstop is Brandon Moore, the all-time hit leader of Auburn with 300. Sean McNally's at third base, going to be a pitcher next year. And in left fielder is Frank Sanders. In center field is Kenny Key. And in right, the man with the golden arm has 10 assists, Mike Killamet.
Nice crowd on hand. People still filing into Rosenblatt, which now seats a little over 20,000. Early summer prediction indeed. They'll play in the Kickoff Classic August 28th against West Virginia. Eric Thomas, the left fielder, stands in at .313. You know, one thing about Powell, a lot of pitchers pad their stats earlier in the season against weaker ball clubs, but he's got 28 scoreless innings in postseason. He's facing the best and just shutting everybody down.
Yeah, he's like a fine-tuned machine, boy. He's getting better with age.
Thomas fans at that one.
That was a split-fingered pitch, and he uses that really effectively against left-hand hitters. You know, he likes to come in with a fastball, and he throws that split finger and it drops down and away to them.
0-2. There was again. He missed with this one. Thomas was a highly regarded prospect out of junior college, but got off to a terrible start. Was only hitting .215 at the end of March, but now .313 on the season as he made the transition from JC ball to Division I. Hit on the ground towards second base. Bellhorn comes up and throws him out. One gone.
Let's take a look at Powell's delivery. Very compact, very economical. Not too much wasted motion. Good, powerful leg drive and kick. Good follow through. Pretty good position to field ground balls. He doesn't look like an imposing style pitcher, you know.
No.
But he gets the job done.
Darvin Traylor, the right fielder. Takes one just outside. Sits safely in 11 of his last 15 games. Was the MVP of the NCAA Regional in Austin. Had a couple of homers, 6 other base hits. Swung one down and in, 1-1. Strike two. And Fred, you get the idea early, as Powell does not have that 94, 95 mile an hour fastball, that this kid learned how to pitch a long time ago.
Yeah, that split-fingered fastball is the old equalizer. It's one of the toughest pitches to hit because you don't pick it up right away. It looks like a fastball, then all of a sudden the bottom falls out.
This one's hit hard down the right field line, but hooking into the stands. This is what Oklahoma did in the Central Regional. They had to beat Texas twice at Texas and did it 15-4 and 6-3. And if you know anything about college baseball, you know how hard that is. And that got them here to Omaha. In the dirt, 2-2.
You get a look at the cap of Darvin Trailer. It's in his back of his pants. That's kind of like the old style players used to do when they got to first base. They take their helmet off and put their hat on. You haven't seen that in a lot of years.
Again on the ground to Bellhorn. A wonderful second baseman. Makes the routine play. Two gone quickly. And Rick Gutierrez. There's Larry Cochell. 3 different teams he has brought to the College World Series. No one else has ever done that. Gets a lot of his players, junior college people, out of California. Gutierrez is out of Long Beach Junior College. And it's a great story. The Big 8 Player of the Year. Larry Conley will fill us in on him a little bit later. Tries to lay it down. Nice bunt down the third baseline. McNally can't get him. The throw is wide. And Gutierrez will make it into second base. Probably be a hit and an error. And a nice bunt by Gutierrez on this thick infield grass. If you can push it down that way, the third baseman's going to have a tough time.
Yeah, he lays down a good bunt here with 2 outs. This is the least thing that McNally's thinking about, and McNally should just put that in his back pocket.
Wagner with the dive couldn't make it, so a runner in scoring position with 2 out for Damon Minor. It is a single and an error. And in batting practice, even with the wind blowing out the left at about 20 miles an hour, Minor hit one nearly over the stands in right field.
Mike, I'm glad you brought up the wind because it will play a big factor in this game before it's done. And most left-handed hitters will not be able to challenge the wind to right field because the wind is blowing across from right to left. But this big fella can.
Fanned at one that ended up down around his ankles that time. You get a 450-foot shot over the center field wall in Austin. Only the 18th player ever to hit one over that barrier. So if you hit one over that, you can hit one just about over anything except the Chrysler building. Powell got him. So the bunt single in the air had Powell in trouble, but he gets out of it with the strikeout. End of 1. 0-0 Auburn and Oklahoma. 0-0 as we go to the top of the second inning, and we will court danger again and take a look in Fred Lynn's locker. What do you have, Freddie?
Well, we have an interesting bit of memorabilia, as you can see in my locker, but here's the stats what I'd like to show you. And this tells you how good this Oklahoma defense is. In 39 games, 1 error. That's not too bad at the collegiate level.
Terrific job, and they said that their defense and pitching the best it had been in Oklahoma in 10 years. And that's what got them here.
Well, look at what's happening thus far in the series, Mike. All the teams that are pitching well and playing defense well are winning. The teams with the big boppers, they're getting eliminated here.
Brandon Moore, the shortstop, will lead it off. .356, had 4 home runs, all of them in the first 20 games. Now he's gone 43 straight games without one. And Redmond just continues to be overpowering.
I'm going to make a slight wager he doesn't strike out 27.
Probably get good odds on that one. Well, he's got a shot at 26. Booted by Hills. Error on the shortstop. And this is something they haven't done all year. They make all the routine plays. They don't kick the easy ones, but Rich Hills did that time.
Here it is. He's in good position. It just hits him on the heel of the glove. He had good footwork. His hands were down. His head was down. The ball just came up and hit him in the heel. He clanked it.
So Auburn gets a break. And Moore on base. 6 stolen bases this year in 7 tries. And they'll work against the left-hander Mike Killimet. And he squares around as if to bunt. Lefty against lefty. Pretty good move here.
Especially with Killimet up there. We were talking to their coach, and he said he is a wild hacker. He might hit a ball in his eyes. He might hit one off the shoe tops.
Squares around again. Takes it low. 2-0. Charging hard from third is M.J. Mariani.
It's not bad strategy to try to push over a run early, especially if you think your team is nervous.
Takes it high again. Ball 3. Sometimes pitchers try a little too hard in a bunt situation. They want them to bunt a hard pitch, but it's better to have him bunted than it is to walk him on.
Mike, I think he called that a strike. I think he said that he
went
attempted
for it
to bunt that. Yeah, it looked like
2-1.
He tried to drag it.
Move to first, and Moore is back. Redmond has 5 pickoffs this year. He has an excellent move to first. Goes over there again.
Like most left-handers that have good moves, they're always questionable. That leg is not supposed to cross that rubber, and when it does, you're supposed to go to the plate.
Swinging on 2-1 and missed it badly. 2-2.
He used the old slide step there, and that's what you do. You take your right foot and just kind of slides on the ground, and you really freeze the runner. He has no time to get any kind of jump. It's very effective.
Of course, we've both been coming here quite a few years. I haven't seen a balk called yet. Outside, the count will go to 3-2, and we'll see what they'll do with Moore down at first.
Well, since he struck out 3 out of 4, I don't know if I'd want to send him in this situation with a free swinging lefty.
Killimet has struck out 32 times this year. Runner was going. It's lofted to left. Eric Thomas in a couple of steps will make the catch, and Brandon Moore will have to retreat to first. So it was a very aggressive call by the Auburn coaching staff to have Brandon Moore running on the 3-2 count.
Well, that shows the confidence in the hitter to hit a ball that they think they're going to get a strike.
Auburn had to beat Virginia Tech. As you see, they swept 4 straight games. Old Dominion, then the former #1 ranked Clemson Tigers, and shut out Notre Dame to advance to Omaha. There are no easy regionals anymore. College baseball has so many good teams.
You know, Mike, looking at those scores, they had 2 shutouts, and then they had 2 games where they scored 11 runs. So this team is very versatile.
Yeah. This is Ken Key, a .308 hitter, first cousin of Jimmy Key, the left-handed pitcher. That one's high and tight, 1-0. Runner at first, 1 gone, top of the second, no score in the ball game. Auburn and Oklahoma, and it has been upset city here at the College World Series. Just missed at the knees. 1-1. Fred, we have the defending national champion and the #1 seed already in the losers bracket. Does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't, because the way these teams have been seeded, I think some of it's unjust, and I think what they ought to do for the seedings is just put all the names in a hat and just draw them out, because Arizona State should not be a #8 seed. They have a quality ball club. And every team that's here is a quality ball club. So it really doesn't surprise me when a #1 seed or the defending national champions gets knocked off.
I agree with you. Ken Key goes for the high fastball. They throw behind the runner trying for the double play. Moore gets back, but Key is gone, and that's the 4th strikeout from Mark Redmond.
The Auburn Tigers are having a lot of problems catching up with his fastball. I mean, he's not striking them out on breaking stuff or changeups. He's just rearing back and throwing it by him.
Won twice in the NCAA regional. Frank Sanders, the left fielder, at 256, stands in, takes a called strike. Of course, the adrenaline is working overtime in the first couple innings in a situation like this.
Yeah, you bet. And what happens is when that adrenaline leaves, now you better start hitting some corners.
Took something off of that one, and it's 0-2.
You could see the catcher. He liked that. He shook his head. Yeah, that was a good one.
So Sanders quickly in a hole, Fred.
Yeah, we should mention that Frank Sanders is a star wide receiver for the football team. So we should expect some acrobatics from him in the outfield.
The 11-0 Auburn Tigers. Went after the high fastball and didn't get around on it. 5 strikeouts in 2 innings from Mark Redmond. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd. 0-0. Nothing in the 2nd inning. College World Series in Omaha. Welcome back to Middle America. We asked Hal Baird if his ball club, none of whom has ever been here before, might be a little nervous taking the field.
We're a little bit maybe awed in some ways by the environment and the atmosphere, and that's my biggest concern, not the opposition, but the environment. All the teams are good, but if we can adapt to Rosenblatt Stadium with 20,000 fans, I think we'll be fine.
And as we go to the bottom of the 2nd, his hitters have not adapted quite yet. 5 of 6 have fanned.
I think they better adapt to Mr. Redmond.
Rich Hills, the shortstop from Yorba Linda, California. There's a good hitting streak going coming into the College World Series. 22 of his last 56 with 16 RBIs, hitting nearly 400. Second-team All-American shortstop, voted by the baseball writers. Breaking ball misses outside. 2-0 from John Powell. Part of the crowd here on a beautiful night in Omaha. Supposed to have perfect weather throughout the weekend. The temperature continuing to rise. Expected to be in the 90s tomorrow. Powell misses with a fastball, and it's 3-0 to Rich Hills, who has walked 24 times this year.
You get a look at young Rich Hills, and anybody who has a nice set of arms likes to show off those pipes. Roll up those sleeves, baby.
Takes it inside for ball 4. So Hills aboard on a free pass here in the bottom of the 2nd. If you just joined us, we're in Omaha, Nebraska at Rosenblatt Stadium. Looks like around 20,000 people have made their way in tonight for another opening round game in the College World Series, and we have Auburn and Oklahoma for you. Pitching has dominated the series if you haven't been watching any of the other ball games. And with Rich Hills on first with 9 stolen bases, this is left fielder Chip Glass. And if your last name is Glass, if you don't have the nickname of Chip, something's wrong, right?
Oh, what a moniker, huh?
Hills, who has the school record for doubles. This is Glass, who has the school record for triples. And it means he can fly. He has 9 triples this year. It's remarkable.
That's unbelievable. I don't think I had 9 in my career. This is a triples ballpark, too. If you get one in the gap here, you can hit a lot of triples in this yard.
And has 21 in his career. Powell got him chasing one down in the dirt. 1-2 to Chip Glass.
Mike, that pitch is so hard to lay off of. You know, you think you got him timed with his fastball, and he has a good fastball. It's better than average. And then you see it coming in straight, and you want to go for it, and then the bottom falls out.
Got him with it again.
I can tell you that it's very frustrating to try to hit this pitch. And really what you have to do is say to yourself, if it starts at my belt, I can't go after it because it's going to drop down to the floor. But that's hard to say because it might be a fastball. It's very difficult.
And if it is a fastball, you look a little silly taking one right down the pipe. M.J. Mariani, the third baseman, made the Big 8 tournament, had 6 hits and 5 RBIs. Transfer from Nevada, Las Vegas. Played shortstop there as a freshman, was a starter. Runner at first and 1 out. Powell with a breaking ball. Mariani tried to bunt it. Take a look at the brackets, and Georgia Tech may have assumed the favorites role as they win their opening game with the shutout. Florida State also wins its opener. Defending champion LSU and Cal State Fullerton fall into the losers bracket. Here in the second bracket, top-seeded Miami beaten today by Arizona State. Oklahoma and Auburn trying to join the winner in the winners bracket. And remember, this is a double elimination tournament. And boy, you lose that first one, you're right on the edge.
Yeah, you're in trouble because you have to play consecutive games, and it really taxes your pitching staff. Now you use everybody, and if you get an injury, boy, you're in trouble.
Which Miami did. And we'll have an update on that in a little bit. They lost the top relief pitcher in the nation. 2-2 to M.J. Mariani with Rich Hills at first. 1 gone here in the second, and Hills is running. Hit through the gap in right field. Base hit. Hills is on his way to third. And he'll get there without a throw. Nice piece of hitting by M.J. Mariani. Hitting behind the runner and found the hole for the single.
Barry Cochell puts on the hit and run. And M.J. Mariani really performs nicely here. A slider down and away, and he spanks it into right field. And now the man with the best arm in the tournament has got it, but he's got no play because it was a hit and run. The runner was going.
Hills easily into third, and now Ryan Miner, the first baseman, 6'7", 230 from Hammond, Oklahoma. A lot of power, not much of an average this year. 244. Was an all-star in basketball and broke an ankle, which prevented him from pitching this year and really has hampered his performance.
He's in a tough situation. He knows he's up against a strikeout pitcher, and he wants to put it in play, and he does. Hits it into left center. That'll get Glass or Hills home from third, and Mariani over to third, and it's a double for Ryan Miner. 1-0 Oklahoma. This is a nice piece of hitting by Miner, but Sanders makes a bad play in left field. He allows Miner to advance to second base. He should have thrown this ball right to second base and kept the double play in order. Right here, stop and throw to second base, and he makes an off-balance throw to try to prevent the guy from going to third. He had no chance.
No shot at all.
Showing his inexperience because playing football doesn't come out for early baseball, and it cost him.
Well, he'll make the great plays because of his athletic ability, but as you said, you know, you play football a lot. You missed all the spring work. They'll rule it as a double. And now Javier Flores with runners at second and third and only 1 out. Breaking ball on the corner.
Mike, in a situation when you've got a pitcher like this on the ropes, you have to strike while the iron is hot because you don't know how many chances you're going to get.
And Powell, on the other hand, really needs to strike out here. Mariani at third, Miner leading off of second. Powell, the NCAA career strikeout leader. Breaking ball hit towards short. That'll get a run home. Brandon Moore from the hole and got it. Nice play by Moore, but Mariani scores from third. Minor has to stay at second base, and it's 2-0 Oklahoma.
Flores does his job. He does his job, puts the bat on the ball. But one of the problems with John Powell when a right-handed hitter's up, his best pitch is a split finger. Doesn't like to throw it to right-handers. He throws a slider and a fastball, not quite as effective.
Back to the top of the order, and Eric Thomas with a runner at second and 2 gone now. And the Oklahoma offense has already done its job because Powell's earned run average is under 2, and they have scored 2 runs here in the second inning. Thomas 0 for 1, grounded out to second base his first time up. Offered at it but pulled it back, and now it's a called strike.
We're getting a late call on some of these pitches by home plate umpire Rick Runchie.
In the dirt, didn't offer at it, 1 and 2.
I've often talked to pitchers why they won't throw their best pitch to like a right-hander versus right-hander or left-hander versus left-hander. They don't want to leave it inside over the plate. But you're taking away your best pitch.
Exactly. Struck him out to end the inning, but the damage is done. 2 runs across for the Sooners, and at the end of 2, they lead it 2-0. We go to the top of the third with Auburn trailing Oklahoma 2-0. Hal Baird mentioned his team might be a little intimidated. Larry Cochell says his isn't.
We played in Austin, Texas, 98 to 99 degrees, 4 days in a row, 4-day games. On the turf is 117. It told me something about the mental tenacity of this club. This club can win in Omaha because they will not get caught up in the circus atmosphere. They will stay mentally tough.
Larry Cochell has had this club here in 92, and then this year he took Cal State Fullerton to the big show, 88 and 90, and Oral Roberts in 78, the only man to take 3 different ball clubs to the College World Series. Says a lot about what he can do for a program.
Yeah, sure did. The only thing I wanted to add about his speech was "or else." I mean, he sounded like a DI.
Yeah, he does have that demeanor, doesn't he? Rob McCrory, the designated hitter tonight, will lead it off. 243 batting average. Only started 19 games this year. It's always a threat to lay down a bunt. He runs well and is in the lineup against left-handers. And right now, Mark Redmond is really sailing along. 5 strikeouts through 2. One and 1 to McCrory. 2 and 1, a little high and outside. Down 2-0. Auburn trying to get something started. And McCrory looking for a sign. Squared around as if to try to lay one down the third base line, and takes called strike 2.
McCrory is an interesting DH because he's kind of like another second hitter in the lineup. He's a good hit and run man, good speed.
Took something off and struck him out. 6 Ks out of 7 outs. And if you like the unusual, let's take a look in Fred Lynn's locker again, because this is unusual.
Hey, let's take a look into the locker and see what we can find this time. And Robert Lewis, the hit man, school record hit by a pitch. And tonight, with the batter's box where it is, there's no inside line, and we'll watch to see how far into the strike zone Mr. Lewis leans. He will do anything to get on base, folks. And as you can see from our sky cam, we'll be able to tell if he is indeed in the strike zone with his left elbow.
Got the bat handle and the left elbow in there, and takes one right down the pipe, called strike 2.
It's easier for him to duck into a right-handed pitcher because the ball moves into him. It's going to be tough for him to get hit by a pitch from a left-hander.
0-2. Goes after the fastball, chops it toward third, wide of third. Mariani throwing off balance and got a nice play by M.J. Mariani, who has the best arm in this infield. So Lewis tried to hit his way on instead of being hit.
Yeah, Mariani is a converted shortstop, as we mentioned, so he can cover a lot of ground. Went easily to his left, threw off balance with something on it, and boy, he liked that play too.
Larry Cochell said Bobby Winkle said recruit shortstops and center fielders. I know you'd agree with that.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Back to the top of the order for Jay Wagner, who was a strikeout victim. Ripped through Rich Hills, the shortstop. First base hit of the ball game as Wagner went the other way against Redmond. Something you would expect out of a .409 hitter.
Yeah, he really shows me something. You know, he really stays in there against this tough lefty, and against tough lefties, you have to give up some part of the plate, and usually you give up inside and hopefully he throws it away and you go the other way like he did.
So McNally comes up with 2 out and a runner aboard. He struck out swinging in the first inning. Wagner is back. 11 stolen bases and 14 tries for him this year. And actually had Wagner leaning back to first when that pitch came in.
Yeah, he's got them fooled. Right now, they're not picking up his move at all. In fact, when he looks at them, they're going back to first base most of the time. So if they're going to steal, they're going to have to guess.
Fan to the change of speed, 1-1.
And usually when you have a tough left-hander with a tough move, what you do is you go on movement. As soon as he moves, boom, you go. If he throws a first, you're a dead duck. But you might still beat the throw in there if you move quick enough.
High heat, 2-1.
Looks great if you're successful, but oh boy, does it look bad if you're not.
McNally also one of those guys who's a good bunter. Takes that one in there, 2-2. Rather not go to 3-2 and let the runner be running on it. Like to get him here. And they'll throw over to first. It's a fascinating thing about baseball. One pitch can make so much difference in what you want to do and the strategy you take. There he goes on 2-2, and it's hit through the right side. Nice job by McNally. Here comes the throw from Traylor to third. He threw it away. But a break for Oklahoma as the ball kicks off the padding right back to third as Traylor, who has a great arm, cut it loose. That allows Wagner, however, to go to second base.
Now, Wagner was stealing on the pitch. He was going, as we said, on first movement. He had a great jump, but McNally shoots the ball into right field. You get a look at our base cam and in your face, so to speak. And now Traylor, if he hadn't bobbled this ball, he had juggled it a little bit in right field. He shows a great arm. Kind of a collision there at third base, and actually Oklahoma got a break because the ball hit off the stands and came right back into the field of play.
And that was even, as you said, the man was stealing, and they still had a shot at him because of that arm in right field. Here's Mark Bellhorn. Base hit could tie up the ball game.
Nothing will loosen up a club more than a couple base hits.
Single and an error on Traylor, allowing McNally to get into scoring position at second base. Breaking ball in there. 1-1. 2 gone here in the Auburn third. They're down 2-0 to Oklahoma. Bellhorn has 39 RBIs in his 38 games. He is a clutch hitter for the Tigers.
And no telling what kind of numbers he would have had if he hadn't been sick.
Oh, you bet. Called strike 2, 1-2. Well, Redmond's been very effective when he takes something off.
Well, he's already proven to these hitters that he can throw the fastball by him. So when he changes speed off that fastball, it's going to be very effective.
May have overpowered that one a little bit. 2-2. Bellhorn is the hottest hitter on the Auburn club. In his last 8 games, he's hitting .531. Tried to take something off again. His high, it's 3-2. If Bellhorn can keep it alive, Brandon Moore is on deck, the shortstop, the .356 hitter.
Doesn't get any easier, does it?
No, it doesn't. Here's the payoff pitch. Called strike 3. Bellhorn thought he had a free pass. But the 7th strikeout for Redmond gets him out of the inning. He strands 2. And that one was outside. Earlier today, Todd Cady gave 8th-seeded Arizona State the lead with a 2-run shot over the center field wall. It was all the Wildcats was need as they shut out the top-ranked Miami Hurricanes 4-0. Another example of tremendous pitching here at the College World Series. And here is the serious injury to Danny Graves, the top relief pitcher in the nation. And watch as he went down in pain trying to get out of the way in the rundown. And let's go to our roving reporter, Larry Conley, who's down on the field with an update on Danny Graves. Larry?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. I talked to Jim Morris, and the news is not good. Danny Graves has torn his anterior cruciate ligament. He will have surgery back in Miami next week. Interestingly enough, this team physician for Miami is also the orthopedic surgeon. He was in the dugout this afternoon.
Boy, that's a shame. I mean, the young man had 21, count them, 21 saves, and ERA under 1. And as Fred pointed out earlier, when you come out of the losers bracket, now is when you have to use a lot of pitchers, and a closer like that is such a key for you. So Miami has a problem.
I don't know that they're going to be able to overcome that, Mike, because he is such a key force in that on that ball club. Somebody else on the ball club is really going to have to step up.
You bet. Darvin Traylor leads it off in the bottom of the 3rd. Oklahoma already leading 2-0. And looked to bunt and brought Sean McNally in from 3rd. Well, it's such an emotional situation here, too. When you lose a key player, it really affects the emotion on the ball club, and you don't have any time to recover from it. Ripped to first. Nice play by Wagoner. Well, they said he had an excellent glove, and he showed it there as Traylor hit it on a button.
This looks like one of our hockey shot on goal. Hey, Wagoner.
Nice call. We'll have you with the Islanders next year.
That's Gary Thorne.
Gutierrez comes up with 1 gone. He beat it out a bunt single in the 1st. Went to 2nd as McNally threw it away. All Big 8 player of the year. Boy, and John Powell going to have to walk this one off. He thought he had an easy called strike on that one.
Yeah, he's not happy. He saw the 3rd strike that was called against his club, so he said, hey, I want some of that action as well. Thank you very much.
1-1 to Gutierrez. Breaking ball, foul tip.
Here's a perfect opportunity for him to throw that split-fingered fastball to this hitter. He's had thrown 2 good breaking balls to him, going away from him. Throw that splitter in there. Let's see how he handles it down and in.
When it breaks the way his is, I don't think it matters if you're right or left hand.
I don't either, but the reluctance of some pitchers to do that, left on left and right on right, it always amazes me, because as a hitter, you just eliminate that pitch.
Yeah. 2-2 from John Powell. Got this one inside. It's ripped down the left field line, fair into the corner. Sanders plays the carom, but it's a stand-up double for Gutierrez. And that was a straight fastball.
Rick Gutierrez is too good a hitter not to throw something else in your repertoire. If you have it, throw it to him. And this guy can hit a fastball. I mean, you're throwing him 2 good breaking balls out over the plate. You might think that he'd be looking away, but good hitters say, nah, I'm going to look in now. They play games with you as well.
16th double of the year for Gutierrez, and the 4th base hit off of Powell. Damon Minor, strikeout victim his first time up. Has to get out of the way.
That's a good pitch to a left-hander. Get him off the plate with your fastball, then the splitter down away is really effective.
Well, going into the regional, Minor had been in a slump that had him a 188 average, 12 out of 64, but he broke out of it in the regional. 7 out of 16 with 2 home runs, and that is so key coming to Omaha. You can be, as you said earlier, the seeds don't really matter. If you're the hot ball club, you can win it all.
It doesn't really matter what you've done prior to getting here. It's what you do when you're here. And so oftentimes it happens, opposing teams key on the star players, and it's the guys that aren't the star players that come through in Omaha.
You'll see guys have 2 or 3 career games that can carry a team to a championship.
Really, that's what it takes. It's very hard to just rely on a couple individuals. That's why Oklahoma is so good. They don't rely on any 1 or 2 guys. It's a total team effort.
Two balls and a strike to Damon Minor with Gutierrez at second, and that's hit into right field for the base hit. The excellent arm from Killimet. Watch the throw. He got him by 3 steps. Killimet with his 11th assist of the year, and it wasn't even close.
This ball is hit sharply by the 6'7" Minor, and Killimet knows it. He's licking his chops. He can't wait for that runner to run. Are you kidding me? Look at him. He's in great position. He's watching him. The play's right in front of him. He says, go ahead. Are you kidding? Where's the runner? Where is he? Where is he? Oh, there he is. See ya.
Boy, perfect one hot throw.
That's you can't draw him up any better than that, folks.
And Gutierrez was meat at the plate. 2 gone. Minor at first, a breaking ball to Hills. Well, you don't think pitchers love defense like that?
Oh, that's great. I love outfield play. Obviously, I played in the outfield, and I just love it when guys do the right things and they make the right throws, and it's just fun to watch.
And over the past 5 or 6 years, we have seen some tremendous throws in clutch situations by outfielders. That's why you got to love games on grass.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of the turf. You see real baseball here instead of bleeders that go all the way to the wall for triples.
Well, there's always the unexpected on natural grass. You never know what the ball's going to do.
Exactly. Hills with 2 out. Takes it outside 1 and 2. Hills walked leading off in the second and scored. Powell got him going after the low ball. They'll have to tag him out for the final out of the inning, but do. So a great defensive play by Killimet prevents any further damage, and it's 2-0 at the end of 3.
Just thought I'd take a little time off from the College World Series, come downtown to downtown Omaha to the old market, and maybe get a piece of fruit. Hey, nice looking apple.
Hey, wait, go my apple, TV dude.
It's a great place to people watch.
Young man, you're sitting in my chair.
You can even get something to eat here. Hey, you want something to buy? They've got a great selection of drinks. In fact, Fred and Mike, they've even got your size. Here you go, folks.
We ordered with 4 frogs.
Oh, we're out here working, and he's downtown goofing off. That's beautiful, Larry.
Oh, Larry, how much did you have to pay that lady to say young man anyway?
How much did he have to pay to have the guy say TV dude? Oh, that's beautiful. And I'm sure you're friends with a horse for life after that.
Part of the charm of Omaha, Nebraska, sports fans.
Brought to you by our own Larry Conley. Brandon Moore will lead it off. raced on an error on a routine ground ball to Rich Hills. His first time up as we go to the top of the fourth. And maybe that great defensive play will loosen up Auburn's offense a little bit.
Some more of the charm of Omaha, Nebraska.
Two and 0 to Moore. I do best when I don't say a word in certain situations.
Way to lay out.
Well, Dick Runcie is giving me a problem. I swear he's saying ball, and then he puts up the right hand. 2-1. This one's fouled out of play, back off the right side. 2-2 to Moore, and then Killimet will come up, followed by Ken Key.
Some Cub fans are here, I see. Yeah, you almost got it.
Looks like inmate night at the old ballpark. Hit to short. Hills got it. So Hills atones for his earlier error. One gone here in the fourth. 2 hits for the Auburn Tigers so far, and Killimet will try to get something started on offense. He flied to left in the second inning. There are his numbers throughout his career. Takes a high fastball.
I asked Coach Hal Baird why the big improvement. I mean, he jumped 100 points from last year to this year, and he said he was a real free swinger when he first got to Auburn University, and he's kind of cut down on that a little bit. He's become a little bit more patient, and so far it's worked out for him. He's hitting 350.
When a postseason, he has been a tremendous clutch hitter too. 6 career postseason games. He has 14 RBIs.
Money players.
You bet. But right now the game is being controlled by left-hander Mark Redmond. Gets the 3-0 in there. Fouled straight back. 3-2.
Boy, he had a great cut at that. If Redmond throws that same pitch in the same location, he ought to have at least he'll have a good swing. I mean, if Redmond throws a curveball, it's going to be out. But if he throws him that fastball, I expect to see Killimet have a pretty good hack at it.
Here's the 3-2. Fastball chopped, foul in front of the plate. Usually when the ball is fouled straight back, you get an idea they're right on it.
Yeah, pitchers hate to see that because the bat hit is coming through the zone, and they can see that. And the ball just, it just comes right off the edge.
1 out, nobody on. Top of the fourth, the 2-0 Oklahoma lead. This is Auburn's Mike Killimet. Got it inside, popped it straight back, and just back on the screen. Count rides at 3-2. We invite you to be with us Tuesday night for Game 4 of the Stanley Cup. The Rangers and the Canucks. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Of course, the series tied right now at 1-1. Game 3 going on as we speak in Vancouver in the first period, up 1-0 on the Rangers. This one's lofted to straightaway center. Chip Glass takes it for out number 2. So Redmond just sailing along with a 2-hitter here with 2 down in the 4th inning, and Ken Key will come up. Well, this ballpark has really changed over the last 4 or 5 years. So much for the better. Just a beautiful facility for college baseball. That's the new Stadium Club down the right field line. They've added seats down the right field and left field line, and an off-speed pitch in there from Redmond.
It doesn't. No matter what they do, they put in more seats and they just keep packing them.
Yeah, keep filling them up. The people of Omaha have responded over the years beautifully to this event and are very proud to have it here. The contract has just been extended to the year 2000, and that would mark the 50th or 51st, I guess, anniversary of the College World Series, all of them here in Omaha. Fastball is ripped down the left field line. Fair ball. And over the wall for a ground rule double for Ken Key. That one was smoked. The third base hit off of Brian Redmond.
Here's the pitch to Kenny Key. He gets a fastball on the inner half, and he unloads on it. And actually, the Oklahoma Sooners catch a break here because that ball could have bounded around. He could have easily gotten another base. But did you see the outfielder raise his hands right away? He's signaling to the umpire just in case he misses it. Hey, it's out of here. That's what you're taught to do.
Yeah. Frank Sanders, the all-SEC wide receiver from the football team, comes up with a chance to do something. Of course, you know he's an excellent athlete in that position and a psychology major on top of it.
Boy, I don't know. A thinking football player.
That means he has taken more multiple choice tests than you would want in a lifetime. 0-1 to Sanders with Key at second. Just missed.
Hey, you see one of the locals keeping score quite diligently. Actually, he's doing a better job than I am.
Took something off and had him way out in front, 1-2.
Redmond has really relied heavily on the fastball and location with it. He starts to mix in that changeup a little bit more often. Boy, he's really going to be tough.
2 out, a runner at second. Auburn still looking to put its first run on the board against Redmond. Breaking ball called, strike 3. The 8th strikeout for Mark Redmond through 4 innings, and he has his club in front 2-0 here at the College World Series.
He could have gotten to say Cowabunga.
Part of downtown Omaha, Nebraska. And we will go out from the middle of downtown back to Rosenblatt Stadium, where the Sooners of Oklahoma are leading the Auburn Tigers 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Can't be many people left downtown. They're all out here.
I don't see an empty seat in the house, Mike.
Great facility. The crowds have just been tremendous ever since we've been coming here. Chip Glass to lead it off in the bottom of the 4th.
Chip Glass. You know, if my name was Glass when I played that, they would have called me broken.
2-0 to Glass, who struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. I think it's going to be one of those nights, isn't it? They were talking about Glass this morning, what excellent speed he had. They timed him in 3.9 to first. It still amazes me when you go back and remember that Mickey Mantle was timed in 3.1 to first base. It almost seems impossible, but it's not.
It's not even fair. I mean, as big as the Mick is and was as a player, to be that fast. Oh, man.
Called strike 3 and 2. John Powell trying to hold him close until his Auburn offense can give him some support. Tapped foul off the right side. One thing they'd like Glass to do is hit down on the ball a little more to take advantage of that great speed. It's too many balls in the air.
Yeah, you have to utilize your strengths, and if one of your strengths is the ability to run, you got to hit the ball on the ground, keep it in play. You don't want to strike out. Preferably hit the ball to deep short, so get used to hitting the ball the other way. And they do shade him that way, so they think he's going to go that way. But hit a lot of balls to deep short, and he's going to beat them out. They said if a ball bounces twice, he beats it out.
Exactly. And if it bounces twice in the outfield, he's got a triple. 3-2 again, and he did exactly what you said. Went the other way with it, slapped it over Rich Hill's head. And a base hit for Glass, who has 22 stolen bases. And up 2-0, you might think there'd be some action here.
Here you get a nice view from our sky cam, and Chip Glass gets a pitch out not even out over the plate. That ball was a ball. It was outside. Shoulder stayed firmly into the strike zone, slapped it into left field. Perfect piece of hitting.
If Glass goes here, it's a good matchup because Javier Flores was installed as the catcher for this ball club because he has thrown out 9 of the last 18. Excuse me, I said Javier Flores. I meant Robert Lewis.
I would think that any time that OU gets some runners on base against John Powell, that they have to try to start them. I don't think you're going to get 3 and 4 hits in an inning, so you kind of have to help your hitters along, try to manufacture runs, get the infielders out of position by starting the runner.
This is Mariani, who's 1 for 1, had a single to right field. That was in a hit and run situation. Later scored on Flores' ground out.
Yeah, Mariani has already proven his ability to smack the ball to the right side.
There goes Glass. Swing and a miss. To throw down. No chance. Glass easily in at second base with his 23rd steal of the season.
Here we get a good view of this stolen base by Chip Glass, and oh, in your face. What a great shot.
Gary McCord would say worm cam.
Well, that's after your drive.
So Mariani now with a chance to pick him up as Glass is down to second base with nobody out here in the 4th.
Now his job is to hit the ball to the right side if he can. Even though he has 2 strikes, he's going to try to poke that ball so Chip Glass can get to third base with less than 2 outs.
There's the lens in the base cam. Just a tiny little thing, but it gave you that great picture. That's a really remarkable technology. Fastball inside. That'll make the count 3 and 2.
The bug's eye view, if you will. There it is. That's amazing. I thought there was a little guy in there when he first did it.
Fastball on the corner, called strike 3, and Mariani really beats about it on the way back. And Dick Runche will hear from the Oklahoma bench on that one.
Well, Mariani, I think, has a legitimate beef. As you mentioned, Mike, when you see the catcher reach for the ball, unless he has his glove in the middle of the plate and he's reaching to the outside corner, it's going to be a ball. If he's on the outside edge, which he was, and then he reaches to his right, it's a ball.
Really had to go out and pick it. This is Ryan Miner, who already has a double. This one's into left center for a base hit. Sanders on the hop. And it's 3-0. So Ryan Miner, the basketball all-star, is 2 for 2.
Ryan Miner hit the same pitch. It looked like an instant replay. Didn't hit it hard, but has enough strength because of his size. Gets the breaking ball out over the plate. Identical pitch that he hit last time. And just kind of flares it into left center. Deja vu.
3-0 Oklahoma, bottom of the 4th, and Javier Flores comes up with 1 out. He's 0 for 1, grounded to short. He'll lay down the bunt. Goes as a sacrifice and gets Miner over to second base. The 5th sacrifice of the year for Javier Flores.
That's not a bad play in that situation. If you lay down a great bunt, you get a base hit. If you don't, you advance the runner, and then now the top of the order has a chance to drive him in.
Well, Larry Cochell playing the percentages, trying to add an extra run here. 4 would look very good the way Redmond is pitching. Heck, 1 looks good the way Redmond's pitching.
But actually, Mike, the right-handed hitters are doing the damage in the lineup. It's not the left-handers who you think would be doing the damage. It's the righties.
And I go back to your point, Powell's reluctance to throw the splitter in that situation.
Be a good game for him to have on tape and watch it and say, okay, why am I afraid to throw the splitter to a right-hander when they're beating me anyway? You know, why not get beat with your best?
0-2 to Thomas. 2 gone, a runner at second, a run already in here in the Oklahoma 4th. Fastball sails high, 1-2.
Mike, the official score has not given a sacrifice on that last attempt, so in his mind, he was bunting for a base hit with 1 out.
Well, he obviously was bunting for the base hit, but you normally see the batter get the break there.
Well, you know, you can give him the benefit of the doubt, but I kind of like the call because it takes away the guy just, you know, saying, okay, I should get a sacrifice. My average doesn't go down. Well,
Right.
if you're trying to bunt for a base hit, you're trying to get a base hit.
Good point.
Unless he actually physically squares around and, you know, plunks it out in front of the plate and you know it's a sacrifice. But he didn't. You know, he was trying to pull it down the third baseline or drag it down the third baseline.
Oh, good point. I'll go with you on that one. 2-2 to Thomas. You see that open stance and way up in the box. 3-2. Trying to take a look at the bunt, and obviously trying for the hit.
See, that is not a square around. That is a drag bunt. He's trying to put that ball down the third baseline, and in his mind he says, well, the worst case scenario for me is I'm going to get a sacrifice. Wrong.
Of course, we'll continue to cover the College World Series for you on ESPN and on ESPN2. Tomorrow, Game 5 of the series. That will be on ESPN. The Jackets of Georgia Tech against the Florida State Seminoles. That's a winner's bracket. Then an elimination game on ESPN2 tomorrow evening. The LSU Tigers, the defending national champions, against the Titans of Cal State Fullerton. That's a 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific start. And those two teams combined for 4 of the titles here in the last 15 years. One of them will be gone. Thomas, 3-2 count, runner at second, 2 out. Ball 4. So Thomas gets the free pass, the second issued by John Powell tonight. And Darvin Traylor, the #1 hitter on the ball club, comes up, but he is 0 for 2. Grounded out to second and then was robbed of a hit as he smashed one at Wagoner at first base. Lofted to deep left. Sanders going back now. He has a beat on it and makes the catch. So 2 stranded, but Oklahoma gets another run home. And at the end of 4 full from Omaha, Nebraska, it is 3-0 Sooners. Mike Patrick, Fred Lynn, and Larry Conley with you from the College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska. And we'll go to the top of the 5th with Oklahoma leading Auburn 3-0. Auburn sending up the number 8 and 9 men, and then we'll go back to the top of the order. Trying to get something started against Mark Redmond, who has walked none, struck out 8, and allowed only 3 hits. Rob McCrory, who plays almost exclusively against lefties, will lead it off in the outfield around to the right for him, figuring he's not going to pull Redmond. And the wind has not been a factor so far in the game, but it is blowing heavily to left field. Went after the high fastball and couldn't get around on it. 0-2.
Mike, this has all the earmarks of the first game we did with LSU and FSU, when the LSU pitcher Scott Schultz, not the All-American, not the big gun, outdueled Paul Wilson for the first 5 innings. Dominated, but then the game turned around rather quickly. And that's the way this game has just started, same way.
We both had the feeling that Florida State was being dominated so much they would not be able to come back. You get the same feeling right now about Auburn, but we've been surprised a few times. Check swing, they'll appeal to first, and he's out of there. That is the 9th strikeout for Redmond.
McCrory tried to do a little bit of acting here, saying, you know, he's going to stick around and he's going to hop back in there and say, well, I didn't really swing, but it didn't work.
When the bat goes past the plate, you're done.
It was a good try, but no Academy Award.
The career high in strikeouts for Redmond is 11. We're only in the 5th inning. He already has 9. And Robert Lewis crowding that plate, looking to be hit again. Grounded to M.J. Mariani at third, who made a nice play in the hole. And you would have to figure Robert Lewis is a catcher. Only a catcher would allow himself to be hit 20 times in a year to get on base.
A math major to boot. He's got it all calculated out. He's got all the percentages.
Didn't move much as the ball broke inside, did he?
He has it down to a science. I mean, that's Don Baylor in the microcosm right there. Watch how he turns. See, his instincts told him to get out of the way, and they said, "Oh, wait a minute," and he turned his left shoulder.
1-2. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. He had a great line earlier in the season. One of his teammates was looking at the pitcher and said, "I don't think you could hit him." And he said, "Yeah, but I think he can hit me."
Here's some paint inside corner, and he freezes Lewis on this ball right on the inside edge.
10 strikeouts from Mark Redmond, 1 off of his career high. And he has Lewis shaking his head. Jay Wagoner, the leadoff hitter, who was 1 for 2, struck out and singled past Hills up the middle.
There's a look of bewilderment on some of the Auburn players' faces in there. So how are we going to figure this guy out?
Good hitting ball club, not used to being shut down like this. Foul back out of play off the left side by Wagoner.
Yeah, they come in here hitting .320 as a club, so they know how to swing the bats.
Wagoner has one of the 3 hits. It was his 116th of the year, which breaks his own Southeastern Conference record set earlier, passing Dave Magadan. He's also on the academic honor roll, an engineering major, 3.17. Those guys really upset me. They were curve breakers.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly right. What's it when you get into an anatomy class with doctors, pre-med students? Oh, you're killing me.
I mean, I'd really work and get an 82 on a test. It was a C. Breaking ball outside, 2-2 to Wagoner. Redmond has been a dominant pitcher in this game. 10 Ks through 4 2/3. Slapped on the ground to Rich Hills. Just got him as Wagoner made it close, hustling down the line. But 3 up, 3 down for Auburn in the 5th. Go to the bottom of the 5th, 3-0 Sooners.
We saw some highlights not too long ago of the series, seeing the excitement and seeing how young it looks now. Now it's 10 years later. Playing in front of that many people in Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska, they treated us like kings. I know what it felt like to be a champion. I got a great feeling what it felt like to get tackled on the mound after a championship game. It was exciting.
Well, he certainly brought a lot of excitement when he was here.
The Rocket. He's brought a lot of excitement wherever he goes.
You bet. Especially when he goes to the bank.
Yeah, his accountant gets pretty excited, I would imagine.
Open up a separate line for him. Oklahoma here in the bottom of the 5th, leading 3-0. And Gutierrez lofts one to shallow center. Ken Key coming on. 1 gone. You see it for the first time since 1978. We had 2 shutouts in the opening round. We are working on a 3rd right here. And the #1 seed Miami Hurricanes and the defending champs LSU both drop into the losers bracket after 1 game, and they'll have to fight their way back. Both have some pretty decent pitchers, so maybe not as much trouble as some other clubs who might lose those opening games.
I'm not surprised as much that LSU and Miami were knocked off as the fact that we had 2 shutouts.
Yeah.
I mean, shutouts in this day and age, in this ballpark, boy, that's really dominance when you can do that with aluminum bats.
Aluminum bat, exactly. 1 out, and Damon Minor with tremendous power, 13 home runs with some of the shots he hit in batting practice. You wonder why he only had 13.
Well, he has a big strike zone, 6'7", and sometimes it's very difficult for tall players to cover that much strike zone.
Has the open stance and then strides toward the plate.
Normally, big guys like the ball out over the plate because they have very long arms. They hate to have to be tied up like that last swing. Ball got in on him. He had such long arms. It's hard to bring those arms in. Little guys like me could inside out that ball, but those big guys, they don't want that ball in the next batter's box. That's why he's so far away from the plate.
1-2 from Powell. Fastball missed.
See, that ball's off the plate outside, but he can reach that. If that ball's down, he can reach it. Whenever you see a player get off the plate, he wants the ball away. You get a great shot of it.
Breaking ball missed the corner, so it goes to full 3-2 on Damon Minor.
And sometimes, since a player is that far off the plate, pitchers are reluctant to pitch inside because they think it's going to be a ball, but you have to let them know that you will go in there.
Here's the 3-2 from John Powell. Hammered toward first. Wagner comes up, makes the play himself. 2 gone. This will bring up Rich Hill's 0 for 1. And John Powell, you know, for all his records this year, only 5 and 3, had a hyperextended elbow, had pitched only 82 2/3 innings coming in. And we're here at Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, where Oklahoma looking for the 3rd shutout in the opening round of the College World Series, leading Auburn 3-0. John Powell trying to hold him at 3 so they can get some help. And this is Rich Hills, the shortstop.
This is the first year he hasn't gone over 100 innings. You know, his strikeouts are down this year, but the cumulative of 4 years of pitching here, he's got 596. But he was hurt earlier in the season, so
we'll update it to 600. This one's hit a long way toward right center, but Ken Key tracks it down. 3 up, 3 down. We've played 5 full here in Omaha, and it's still 3-0 Oklahoma. Part of the older section of Omaha, and Larry Connolly getting a free ride there. That wasn't Larry, was it?
He was too young for Larry.
After the piece he did earlier, we'll getting on him a little bit. Well, they criticized movie popcorn. How about ballpark peanuts?
No way.
They got to be good for you.
Good food, good food, good protein.
Cotton candy's good for you too.
Sure, good for a mustache.
That's all good for you.
Sure, I'm a little thirsty. Hey, buddy.
Sean McNally, 1 out of 2, will lead it off, and time running out for the Auburn Tigers as they go to the 6th. McNally 1 for 2 against Mark Redmond, who has spun a pretty 3-hitter here with 10 strikeouts. Missed with a fastball. McNally a threat to bunt, and Mariani closing in at 3rd. Rips it back up the middle. And a leadoff single for Sean McNally. He's 2 for 3. School records. They've really done the job. But that was only their 4th hit tonight, trying to get untracked against Redmond.
That shows you that they know how to swing the bat, though. These guys can hit.
Mark Bellhorn stands in. 0 for 2, struck out and called out on strikes. Breaking ball way inside.
Mike, we're in the part of the game now where even though Redmond is sailing along, he has 10 strikeouts, and anytime you strike out that many guys, it requires a lot of pitches. And sometimes guys lose a little bit in the middle of the game.
Missed high with that one, 2-0. 87 pitches so far. This is a big, strong kid, 6'5", 210. That may have been ball 3, and Bellhorn went after it.
Well, it doesn't look like he's lost much velocity because this is a fastball right in the wheelhouse. So it's up a little bit took off on him. And the ball still has a little pop to it.
2-1 is high, and that's 3-1 to Bellhorn. Brandon Moore, the shortstop, on deck. The number 2 RBI man on the ball club. Would love to come up with 2 on. Here's the 3-1, hit hard down the left field line and foul.
Mike, pitching coach Vern Rule is going to be watching Redmond, and when a pitcher starts to get tired, especially a power pitcher throwing a lot of strikeouts, they get up in the zone, and that's what we'll watch. And there's Vern Rule right now, ex-major league pitcher himself. Pretty good one too.
Sure was. And very happy as a college coach at Oklahoma. Said he never really thought about coaching in college until Larry Cochell suggested it to him. And when you got a former major league pitcher with a name like Vern Rule, you can attract some good prospects. This one's hit in the air to right. Trailer having to go back, still going back, will make the catch near the warning track. And McNally has to retreat. He was playing Bellhorn very shallow in right field.
The reason being the wind is blowing from right to left, and he's smart enough to know that a ball is going to have to be hit exceptionally well to get it over his head. And he's trying to take away, number one, he's trying to take away the base hit, the little line drive to right. Plus, he's trying to keep that runner from going first to third.
Ball was hit pretty well. Just kept carrying. Brandon Moore 0 for 2, reached on an error and grounded out both to the shortstop Rich Hills. So 1 out and a runner at first. That one popped in there, but it's a ball. Moore looking down to third to get his sign. McNally leading off first. This one fisted toward first. Minor goes to short for one. Back to first, double play. Beautiful job by the Oklahoma defense. They have set a record for the 2nd straight year for double plays, and they did it again.
Here it is, a fist job in the most difficult double play that you can have in baseball, the old 3 to 6 to 3. Perfect feed from Minor and back to Minor.
That's the second one we have seen executed that way in 2 games. We go into the bottom of the 6th with Oklahoma continuing to lead Auburn. The Tigers only with 4 hits in the ball game. And Oklahoma will send up Chip Glass, who hammers the first pitch down to Bellhorn at second and throws him out. 1 gone in a hurry. We invite you to join us tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern, for final round coverage of the LPGA Oldsmobile Classic. Beth Daniel, the leader, going into the final 18. She is 16 under par. Struggled a little bit on the opening 9 today and then recovered. And will be going after that first prize of $90 grand. Fred Lynn kind of golf money.
You know, I wish.
Mariani is 1 for 2, called out on strikes, first time up, single to right, and later scored. Powell misses at the knees. Got the inside pitch right at McNally, the third baseman, and he throws the wide throw, but a nice play by Wagner to get the out. Wagner's shown a couple of excellent defensive plays over there at first base.
Yeah, not only does Wagner handle the bat at a 400 clip, he handles the glove just as well.
A couple of excellent defensive ball clubs tonight. Although we have had 3 errors, a couple of bad throws. And Ryan Minor stands in at 244. Tried him as a pitcher last year at 6'7", 230, and said he really got the fastball up in the low 90s. But that fractured ankle prevented him from pitching this year. Says he's ready now. Came up to Larry Cochell said, "I'm ready, Skip."
Yeah, put me in, Coach. I'm ready to go. Not quite enough experience yet to get back on the mound in the college.
Might be a little rusty, too.
Yeah.
Off the fist, pop down the right field line. Wagner giving chase and makes the nice catch. 3 outstanding defensive play from Jay Wagner at first base in this ball game. So a very fast half inning. We've completed 6. 3-0 Oklahoma. The sun obviously no longer a factor as you get a shot from the top of Rosenblatt Stadium, panning down to the crowd. More than 20,000 here tonight, it appears. We have not received an official crowd figure tonight. And we go to the top of the 7th with the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the Auburn lineup. And really the middle of their order has let them down tonight. 3, 4, and 5 hitters are 0 for 8. Kilomet to lead it off. He's 0 for 2. Flied to left, flied to center.
They need a spark. Auburn Tigers, they need something to get them going.
Kilomet has done in the late innings before, Fred. Beat Alabama with a 9th inning 3-run triple. So he's used to the pressure situation. Takes a breaking ball high. Redmond with 10 strikeouts. Totally dominant early. A little more hittable in the last couple of innings. This one just sort of slapped at down the right field first base line.
Yeah, that's a 1-0 pitch that Kilomet had, and he wanted a fastball, got a hook. Got the deuce.
On the deuce.
There you go. But if you're going to think fastball when you're ahead 1-0 in the count, don't swing it.
Let it go.
Sure.
High fastball that time. That looked like a 2-strike defensive swing.
Yeah, that,
like.
if you're going to be fooled early in the count, that's okay. Let it go, but don't hit a little number that if it goes fair, you're out.
2-1 to Kilomet, leading off the Auburn 7th. 2-2. Fastball at the knees, outside corner.
We had a look at the Auburn Tiger bench, and they look like they're just ready to clap at anything. There they are. Come on, guys, do something good.
Well, Redmond hasn't given him much of an opportunity, and he doesn't there. It's his 11th strikeout tonight. That ties his career high and gives him 130 on the season, breaking the single season record set by Jack Armstrong in 1987. He has been sensational.
You know what he's doing now? He's starting to throw his breaking ball in fastball counts so that when he needs his fastball, he throws it right by them later in the count when they think they might get the hook.
Ken Key thought about a bunt. Takes it inside for a ball. Key is 1 for 2. Struck out his first time up, but then doubled to left. Got an inside pitch he could turn on. Converted outfielder who's done a nice job in center field for them this year. Converted infielder, rather. He slaps this one through the hole. 2 hits for Ken Key. 2 of the 5 Auburn hits tonight.
It's funny how that works out sometimes, Mike. A guy will dominate a club. He'll get 4 hits in the ball game, strike out 15, and one guy gets 2 or 3 hits. It's amazing. It works like that all the time. It seems like a pitcher can't make the pitch to one particular guy.
Right. Well, there were guys throughout your career I know you owned. You owned a lot more than most people did.
Well, a lot of guys got me out, too.
Frank Sanders squares around, lays it down. Nice stab by the pitcher, throws to first and got him. Good defensive play by Redmond. That ball bunted hard enough that it nearly got by him on the glove side.
Here's a nice play by Redmond, fielding his position. Jumps off the mound like a big cat. Stumbles a little bit, composes himself, gets on balance, and then throws a seed to first.
Dallin Rook will be the pinch hitter You got 3 seconds to figure out what his nickname is.
1, 2, Babe.
Babe Ruth. Get it? That's true. We're just passing it on. Dallin Rook, a .333 hitter. Pinch hitting for the DH McCrory. Lefty against lefty.
Not often do you see a left-hander come into a game when another left-hander is pitching and has already struck out 10 or 11 guys for a right-handed hitter. But McCrory had enough of Mr. Redmond.
And that is the premier relief pitcher for Oklahoma, Bucky Buckles. He of the wicked knuckle curve. Of course, in this inning, Auburn trying to get anything started. They sacrifice bunt with 1 out to get a runner down to second, down 3-0. And then they send up a left-hand pinch hitter against Redmond.
Well, there's 3 innings to go, and if they get a run here,
yeah,
you know, a base hit and a blast, and they're right back in it.
Precisely.
They want to get a run before Mr. Knuckler, Bucky Buckles, comes in there.
Ruck hit .365 in the SEC. That was the 6th best average in the league. Strike call on the inside corner. Breaking ball got in there. 1-1. He has 5 home runs. But you have to believe he's up there thinking base hit right now against the left-hander Redmond. Another breaking pitch, slap toward Rich Hills. And the inning is over. So Redmond has to shut out through 7. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Oklahoma 3-0. You are watching the College World Series on the Deuce as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Glad you could join us tonight from Omaha, Nebraska. Mike Patrick, Fred Lynn, Larry Connolly, and 20,000 of our closest friends watching this ball game that Oklahoma leads over Auburn 3-0. Should say 20,000 of Larry's closest friends. He's down there among them. Just completed the 7th inning stretch. You know how that started?
No, I don't, actually.
A president of the United States left the ballpark in the bottom of the 7th inning years and years and years ago. I don't even know who it was, but the crowd stood up in the bottom of the 7th as the president left, and Harry Carey's been singing the song ever since.
I'll buy that.
Javier Flores, the catcher, to lead it off. 0 for 2, grounded out, and was thrown out trying to bunt for a base hit.
Interesting story about Javier Flores. He wants to play shortstop next year. Coach Cochell says, well, what do you want to do? You want to catch? You want to play short? Looks like he wants to play short.
Well, darn near everybody on his ball club is a shortstop.
There's the coach, Larry Cochell.
And Flores from one of the great towns in this nation, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Gotta love it. 3-1. Hit in the air to right field. Killamet going back, plenty of room, makes the catch, and Flores is gone. Bring back up the top of the order. And that's Ryan Halla out there warming up. In case Powell gets in any more difficulty. Eric Thomas walked, grounded out, and struck out. 0 for 2 on the night. As so many of the players here at the College World Series, he is an academic all-conference performer. Tries to bunt his way on.
That's really nice to see. You know, I like to see programs that make their kids go to class. I mean, that's why you're there. You're there to get an education and play baseball secondly, or whatever sport you may be participating in.
But the sport takes so much time away from your ability to study. You really have to admire the guys that have those outstanding grade point averages.
You're right,
Especially
because
some of the majors that they have.
Sure, you have to put in your time, and that's going to take away time from doing something else that you might rather be doing.
Can't imagine what that would be, but
not me either.
But I'm sure both of us did a lot of it when we were in college.
I know SC is located next to Santa Monica Beach. I don't know why I know that.
Still got the tan. 1-2 to Thomas. Powell misses outside. 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for Oklahoma. 0-5-1 for the Auburn Tigers. And that is the NCAA's all-time strikeout leader. Just picked up his 6th tonight.
Here's a pitch from John Powell. And it's kind of a questionable call on the outside corner, but the plate has been large all night long. And actually, it's been fairly large early on in the College World Series. So the hitters should take note.
And Powell has now retired 9 straight and pours a fastball in against Darvin Traylor, the right fielder, who was 0 for 3, grounded out twice, flied to left. Powell just hoping against hope that the 3 runs he's given up won't kill him tonight, and his team can finally get on track with a bat.
And he's really in a nice rhythm right now. When he misses, he's just off the corner. He's not missing out over the plate.
Inside 2-1. Says his elbow is no problem. Pitched on 2 days rest in the regionals through 140 pitches, so he can stay out there as long as he's effective.
Which is usually 9.
Yeah. It really has excellent control. Came in tonight, 124 strikeouts on the year, only 20 walks. Quality pitcher. This one is smoked to right center. Kilmet won't get there. Traylor on his way to second. And will get in there with a stand-up double. That thing was roped to right center.
Darvin Traylor gets a nice ball that he can handle. Good extension on that swing. Good follow through. Williman has no chance in this one, and even he can't throw anybody out from back here, although he tried to get it all the way to third base.
Yes, he did. That'll bring up Gutierrez with a runner at second and 2 down. Gutierrez, a young man who grew up in the worst possible sections of Los Angeles. Ended up starting to play baseball when he was a sophomore. Didn't even know anything about it. They said, where do you play? And he said, I play right there. That's the hardest spot, isn't it? Shortstop. And has really turned his life around. He would not go pro last year. He insisted on coming back to get his degree. He said, if you've never had anything, you don't know what this means. And is looking forward, if not playing baseball, to a career with the police or the FBI. You really have to admire somebody like that who has picked himself up and used his athletic ability to make his life better.
That's a great story, Mike, because I grew up not too far from there. I know quite a bit about that area where he comes from. It's very hard to get out of there for some of these kids.
Yep. And the unfortunate part is that so many do not have the athletic ability or the opportunity that can lift them out of that circumstance. Two and one. Hit down the right side, twisting back into the stands. Gutierrez 2 for 3 tonight. Beat out a bunt single for the first hit of the ball game, then doubled left in the third. Later thrown out at home as Kilmet threw a strike from right field, which he's done all year long. It was his 11th assist from the outfield. Short center. Key can't get there. Then hesitated, now throws home and doesn't have a chance. 4-0 Oklahoma as Gutierrez delivers the bloop single to center for the RBI.
He's fooled on the pitch, but he's such a good hitter. He's able to keep his hands back and his weight on his back foot, and he's still able enough to just poke it out there.
Right now, let's check in with Larry Conley. Larry?
Thanks, Mike. I'm with a happy bunch of Sooners right here. Dale and Nancy Miner, who are the parents of Damon and Ryan Miner. And we know about brothers being competitive. How about twin brothers? Are they competitive?
They're worse.
You were a football coach for 11 years, but you never coached them in football, track, basketball, and baseball, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we moved to a town that didn't have any baseball or any football, and we coached, and they just played baseball, basketball, and track.
You look like a coach. Okay. Guys?
All right, Larry, thanks very much. A couple of proud parents of their twin sons.
It was nice the way that gentleman was respectful of his elder.
Yes, gives the yes, sir, right to you. Tell you what, it's a lot of fun to come back to the Midwest when you haven't been here in a while. It sort of grounds your values again, doesn't it?
Sure, it sure does. It kind of makes you feel good about being an American.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we've lost some of that. 2 outs. Runner goes. Gutierrez pulled, foul, and hit very hard by Damon Miner. Storyline of game 4. 4-9-2 for Oklahoma. 0-5-1 for Auburn Redmond with those 11 strikeouts. And Powell goes over the 600 mark. Ryan Miner with a couple of RBIs, 2 for 3. His brother Damon up there right now, trying to add to a 4-0 lead. Runner goes again, slapped through the hole in the left. Nice job by Damon Miner. Figured the shortstop would be covering on the steal. Moore wasn't. It was Bellhorn from second, but slapped it through the hole anyway.
This is a real nice piece of hitting by Damon Miner. You think of the big guy, 6'7", wants to pull everything, and he did just hook a ball down the right field line, but he has the ability to poke it into left field.
Gutierrez at second, Damon Miner at first with 2 out, and they want to come out to talk to Powell. He may have seen the end of his College World Series start tonight. And he has. Boy, you know, it just breaks Powell's heart. He is such a competitor, such a terrific pitcher.
Yeah, you know, the last thing he wants to do, excuse me, Mike, is to come out of this ball game. You know, talking to him before the ball game, you know, you could just see the look of determination in his eyes, and you know right now he's really hurting.
He's a nice kid and a good pitcher. Goes 6 2/3, gives up 10 hits, 4 runs. The 2 men left his responsibility, 6 strikeouts and a couple of base on balls. And we'll check the pitching change for you when we come back. 4-0 Oklahoma. John Powell's night is done, and even though he's gone over the 600 strikeout mark during his career, you know he's not thinking about that. He's thinking about the 4 runs and 10 hits that he gave up.
You know, one of his comments earlier in the ball game, he said, we came here to win. You know, so he's very, very discouraged right now. You can see it's written all over his face, and he feels like he's let his team down. But, hey, look at what Mr. Redmond has done.
And I really admire him for coming back for his senior year. He said that Hal Baird was the one guy who was going to give him a chance to pitch in college baseball, and he wanted to come back for him. He also wanted to get the strikeout record, but he mentioned his coach first. And, you know, that makes me think an awful lot of that young man.
Sure, you don't see many seniors anymore.
No, you don't.
In college baseball.
Ryan Hallow, the new pitcher out of Birmingham, Alabama. He is 6'5", 260. And he'll face Rich Hills, who is 0 for 2 tonight, with runners on, first and second.
And what is his nickname? Big. very
big
apropos.
country or anything else,
right.
just big.
Just big.
107 strikeouts in 94 2/3 innings. This one's fouled off the right side. Look out behind the first base dugout.
Yeah, Halla comes right after him. He's got a good fastball, almost in the 90s, and he's got that splitter too. So especially when lefties come up, we'll see that splitter. He likes to feature the breaking ball, kind of like John Powell to right-handers, and the splitter to left.
Of course, Hal Baird, the former pitcher, teaching most of his pitchers how to throw that splitter. 0-2. fouled back off the right side again. And a good catch by a fan. And when you've got a hard thrower up there, if you're on the opposite side of the field, you better pay attention.
Yeah, just a piece of advice for anybody who likes to watch baseball and come out and watch a baseball game. Watch the game. You know, when the guys have a bat in the hand, balls are flying around here.
Just missed.
It was a nice picture of a tight slider from Big. You can see it. Just a good slot, a true slider. Just moves a little bit from right to left.
Nice looking pitch. Back with a fastball, popped up. Wagner with room makes the catch. So Oklahoma's gone in the 7th, but the Sooners still lead it 4-0.
I'm standing here with Governor Jim Folsom of the state of Alabama, and yesterday we had Governor Nelson out here from Nebraska. I guess, Governor, this is the place to be, isn't it, sometime in June?
Naturally, at the ballpark. There's no place better to be. We're proud of our Alabama teams. We're proud of Auburn for being in the World Series. And it's just good to be here. It's a great event.
I understand you've got a big event this Tuesday, huh?
We do have an event this Tuesday, and I'll be going back to Alabama in about an hour. I came here, I've spent about 3 hours here, about 1 hour back, 2 hours back, and I'll be on the trail for the next 2 days. We have an election Tuesday.
Great. Nice having you here, sir.
It's good to be here.
All right, thank you. Mike?
All right, thank you, Larry. Thank you, Governor. I guess when the governor calls, says I'd like to come to the ballpark, he can get a ticket, can't he?
Yeah, I think so. Looks like he's trying to get some of those absentee votes.
Robert Lewis will lead it off. In the top of the 8th, Auburn down to his last 6 outs against Mark Redmond, who has scattered 5 hits, struck out 11. Lewis is 0 for 2, called out on strikes, grounded to third. There's action in the Oklahoma bullpen in case Redmond gets in any trouble, and Bucky Buckles, the closer, is out there. Also number 33, Tim Walton. Lewis hits one to deep left, way back. Thomas to the wall. It's gone. Robert Lewis with only his 2nd home run of the year. And he cuts the lead to 3. Well, that's the way for your number 9 man who leads the world in being hit by pitches to start the inning.
Boy, how many times have we seen it during the College World Series where you think you're in the easy part of the order and they come up and bite you?
Back to the top of the order for Wagner, McNally, and Bellhorn. And Redmond airmails one to the backstop.
That's a signal right there. That pitch, you know, maybe that home run here, and you get a look at it. There's a fastball right out over the middle of the plate. And you can tell that Robert Lewis hasn't hit too many home runs in his short career because he's not sure that ball's gone. We knew it was gone as soon as he hit it.
Didn't get into the trot right away, did he?
He's got to work on that trot a little bit.
2 balls and no strikes to Wagner. And sometimes pitchers can lose it in a heartbeat. And Redmond may have. Nearly hit him. That's ball 3. And he hasn't been close on any of them.
If I'm Vern Rule, I'm out there right now. If they walk him, he's gone. I mean, we saw this happen the other night with Scott Schultz and LSU. He was dominating the game a la Redmond, and then it went away in 1 inning.
Got the fastball in there on 3-0. Wagner 1 for 3, struck out, grounded out, and singled. He's the 400 hitter. He's the guy you have to worry about as far as base runners. Takes another fastball, called strike 2. Only struck out 19 times this year. Contact hitter, sprays it around. Wasted that one. Good pitch from Redmond, who had been behind 3-0, hadn't been within a foot of the strike zone. and then throws 3 good fastballs.
We just had a good look at Coach Vern Rule, and you can see that he's really studying his young pitcher. There he is.
Has not walked a batter tonight. Fanned 11. And you know, as well as he pitched, he would love to stay out there, get the complete game. The shutout's gone. High fastball fouled away again. Nice job by Wagner, just wasting one, ruining a good pitch.
Sometimes, Mike, when a guy's sailing along in a ball game, especially if he has a no-hitter, and if somebody gets a hit, bam, now they get a run. There goes the shutout. Sometimes they lose that little extra incentive and that adrenaline, and they have a drop down and they lose it. And if you don't get him out of there when he's lost it, bad things can happen quickly.
Yeah, he can lose more than the shutout. Count remains full at 3-2. Nobody on, nobody out. A run home on the solo home run from the catcher, Lewis. Wagner, nice piece of hitting. Hung in there till he got a pitch he could handle and rifles it over the second baseman Gutierrez for a base hit. And that's going to be all, I believe, from Mark Redmond. Here comes Larry Cochell. But what a performance from Mark Redmond. Scattered 7 hits, only hurt by the solo home run in this inning. Fanned 11, set a single season record, and really did his ball club proud.
Especially when you have to think that he outdueled the all-time leading strikeout performer in college history. So he had a tall order.
Certainly did. So Redmond, who had 10 strikeouts the first 18 batters he faced, only had 1 strikeout in the last 10. And just gave up back-to-back home run and single. So he'll be gone. He'll get a great hand not only from the Oklahoma fans, but from everybody in this ballpark as he leaves. And we have seen one sensational pitching performance after another in the first 4 games of the College World Series. Mark Redmond from Del Mar, California. We'll check out the new pitcher when we come back. Four to 1, top of the 8th inning. Oklahoma with the lead. Auburn trying to rally. They have chased the starting pitcher, Redmond. But a great performance tonight. The winner of this ball game will meet Arizona State Monday night. The loser will play top-seeded Miami in the losers bracket Monday afternoon. You'll see both of those games on ESPN. And of course, it's a double elimination tournament. And the new pitcher, Bucky Buckles, and he's quite a relief pitcher, isn't he, Fred?
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier for the Auburn Tigers when Bucky Buckles comes in there. He is a fearless competitor. He has the mental makeup of a closer. He says, give me the ball, I'll do the job. And his best pitch is the knuckle curve, and it's a dandy. And
I think that was it.
A good knuckle curve is a tight spinning curveball that breaks late. It comes in there with a lot of velocity. They can throw it much harder than a normal curveball, and you can hear the good ones coming. Bert Hooton had the best one I ever saw or heard, and you could hear the spin as it came in.
That was a fastball. 0-2 to Sean McNally, who's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. Remember a couple of years back, Tiger Green was here with that great knuckle curve. He was virtually unhittable. 91 miles an hour on the jugs on the last pitch. This one's tapped foul outside third. Relief pitchers are different people, a lot like punters. Just a little off bubble from everybody else, or we are.
You have to be to want to be a closer. I mean, every time you come in there, it's nail-biting time.
This one's hit into right field, coming on. Trailer can't get there. And 2 aboard with nobody out. The potential tying run comes to the plate. And the guy you'd want up there to be in this situation, Mark Bellhorn.
McNally's been tough all night. He even got 2 hits against Redmond. Here you see the spin on this ball, and that's a slider. That is not the knuckle curve. And it's deposited into right field. And Traylor tried to decoy the runner, but he wasn't biting.
Nearly hung up there for him. Bellhorn takes one outside, and the Auburn fans finally with something to cheer about tonight. They lead off the inning with a solo home run. Now they have runners at first and second. Nobody out for Bellhorn. The number 2 average hitter on the ball club, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Flied out deep his last time up, and his first chance to face a right-hander tonight.
Yeah, you can believe he's saying, hey, I don't care what this guy features. I don't want any more of that other guy.
1-1 to Mark Bellhorn from Oviedo, Florida. Swung right over the top of it. 1-2. Bottom dropped out.
That's the great thing about the knuckle curve, is when he keeps it down, it really bites down. If you look at a clock, it has a 12-6 rotation.
Auburn's 3, 4, and 5 hitters 0 for 9. They can make up for it right now. Struck him out. Big strikeout for Buckles.
One of the problems with facing a guy that throws a good knuckle curve is that you just don't see them. I mean, in all of college baseball, there might be 2 or 3 guys that throw them, and only one of them will be a good one. And this is a good one, and until you've seen a couple of them, it's hard for you to imagine what the ball does.
And with a closer, you're only going to see him once anyway.
That's right.
So now it's up to Brandon Moore with 1 gone. He is 0 for 3. Grounded out twice and reached on an error. Swing and a miss.
Sometimes if you are seeing a pitcher for the first time and you know he has an exceptional pitch, sometimes it's good to take a pitch. Hopefully he'll throw that to you. You can get a good look at one without swinging at it. If you go up there hacking, you don't see the ball really well when you miss.
Moore is the only Auburn starter who hasn't struck out today. This one's hit the gap in right center field. It's in there for the base hit. Wagoner is going to score. McNally is on his way to third. It's 4-2. Brandon Moore delivers. And that's the first base hit tonight out of the 3, 4, or 5 slots for Auburn.
Well, we know these guys can hit. They hit in .321 as a team. It's just a matter of picking the right pitch at the right time to hit. He finally got his fastball, and they know what to do with a fastball. Here's a fastball right down Broadway. He said, oh, I know what to do with that one.
And here's Mike Killimet, who's the defensive hero. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Runners at first and third, still only 1 out. Now, if you're Killimet, what are you thinking? You're 2 runs down.
Right now, with 1 out, you want to get the runner in from third base. You do not want to hit a double play, all right? You want to get a ball that you can drive into the outfield.
Killimet flied out twice and struck out the second baseman, Gutierrez, way over toward second base, not playing him to pull, and the outfield around to the left.
What you want to do in this situation, if you're a left-handed hitter, you don't want to get pull happy. When you try to pull an outside pitch, you hit that ground ball. He's got to hit the ball up the middle of the field or think the other way.
1-2, missed outside, 2-2. Of course, your pitcher and your defense have to be on the same page. They're playing away, so you need to pitch him away.
Game of cat and mouse to see who executes the best.
2-2. Missed again. Full count.
Now, in this situation, if I'm Bucky Buckles, I'm throwing the knuckle curve. I'm not going to get beat with my fastball. I'm going with my number 1.
Runners at first and third. This was hit toward short. Could be 2. Now the runner was going, excuse me, they'll go to Hills. And he throws to first to get the run, but the runner will score from third to make it 4-3. And sending the runner on the 3-2 count. Broke up any chance of the double play.
This is a nice bit of coaching, having the runner go with 3-2 to stay out of the double play situation. And sure enough, that was a double play ball, tailor-made. But since the runner was on the move, they can only get 1.
So now it's up to Ken Key with a runner at second and 2 out. They've closed within a run, and Key is 2 for 3 tonight. Started the season 0 for 11. He's hit .331 since. And the Auburn fans on their feet and chanting, trying to touch up Bucky Buckles. Knuckle curve, wicked pitch. 0-2.
In this situation, I don't want to belabor the point, but his best pitch is a knuckle curve. You want to throw a fastball now? Fine, throw it out of the zone. He can't hit this fastball if you're going to throw it.
Another knuckle curve, just nubbed foul off the right side.
Now, as a hitter in this situation, you're 0-2. Obviously, you don't want to be 0-2. That's why they call it a defensive stance you're going to assume right now. What I like to do, or what I like to tell young hitters to do, choke up, cut down on your stroke. You still have to honor the fastball because he has a good one, but you're just trying to get a piece of the ball, put it into play.
In the dirt, gets away from the catcher. They've got to throw him out, and they don't. Struck him out, but the ball broke so wickedly into the dirt that Flores couldn't come up with it cleanly. So now they get runners at first and third, and boy, that's a heartbreaking situation for a pitcher.
It's a tough ball for a catcher to handle anyway. That good knuckle curve is going to bounce. It's really going to go straight down. He does a nice job of blocking. It was picture perfect. Unfortunately, the ball carried off his chest protector. He really had no chance here.
And even though that's a strikeout, it's going to be ruled a wild pitch because it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, that's right. It's always a wild pitch. It wasn't the catcher's fault. He did everything in his power to block that ball and keep it in front of him. It was a bad break.
And there's about 21,000 people here tonight. Who's the happiest one of all? Ken Key, who just struck out to end a rally and ends up at first base.
Well, he hustled.
Yeah.
You know, that just for you young people out there, you always hustle. You strike out. Hey, I'm not done yet.
And Frank Sanders struck out twice, bunted back to the mound, trying to bunt for a base hit. He is waiting his turn. Big rally for Auburn. They've been handcuffed all night long. They have scored 3 runs here in the 8th to cut the lead to 1. Boy, have we had some great games already. This is only the 4th game of the College World Series. It's just like last year. Good ball games, well played, exciting.
Even when you think you're out of it, you're not.
Yeah.
The momentum has surely changed right now.
And Buckles trying to work out of a huge jam. Swing and a miss. And Sanders had his cut.
After seeing Sanders now for 3 at-bats, he was overmatched by Redmond. Ball's up in the zone, especially inside with some heat on him. I don't know that he's going to be able to react well enough to hit this knuckle curve if he keeps the ball down.
0-1. Tying run at third. And time called.
I still like the theory that you want to show him a fastball somewhere. Way out of the zone, though. Just give him a show-me fastball, then go back to the knuckle deuce.
Strike called. Buckles had not allowed a postseason run in 9 2/3. He had just been sensational after setting the school record for appearances with 33, broke the Big 8 record with 12 saves. This one tapped off the right side, picked up by Gutierrez, and he makes the play to end the threat. But Auburn gets 3 to make it a 1-run game. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. We've got a ball game for you as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Auburn with 3 in the top of the inning has cut the lead to 4-3, and now it's Oklahoma's job to try to get a little breathing room against Ryan Halla, the relief pitcher. Bottom part of the order coming up, Glass, Mariani, and Minor, the scheduled hitters, with the number 9 man to follow if anybody gets on. Glass 1 for 3, a single, also has a stolen base and a run scored in the ball game. They'd love to get him aboard because he can really fly. Third baseman Sean McNally way inside the bag. Fouled right off Lewis's mask. There's McNally.
Well, he's definitely taking away the bunt, but he's also cutting down the angle for a ball hit to his left. In effect, you're taking away something, but you're giving up something as well. There you see the hole between third and short now.
1-1, nobody out, nobody on. Bottom of the 8th inning for Chip Glass from Ukiah, California. Breaking ball misses outside. 2-1. And the crowd cheering because they turned on the noise meter on the scoreboard. Howell got all 260 pounds into that one, muscled up on a fastball, and it's 2-2.
Big. I don't recall ever facing anybody that large when I was in college.
Hit to right center and hit a long way. Key and Killamette, and Key got there, but he couldn't hold the ball. Glass can flies on his way to third. They're going to set him. They will. The relay is offline, and they won't get it. Chip Glass just kept flying. And that looked like a ball that Ken Key may have overrun.
Yeah, you know, when that ball was first hit, I thought it was a gapper for sure. But the wind came into effect. That right to left wind blew the ball back to Key. And as you will see, he gets a good ball here to hit, and he drives it. Now, Key's there. He didn't think he was going to get there. And he overran it. The ball went past him. And look at this little guy go.
Oh, he can motor. It'd be interesting to see how they score this because the relay throw was offline. I think it's got to be inside to Parker, don't you? Come on, Fred. Come on, center fielder.
I know. You know, it's you want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but boy, oh boy,
catchable ball.
Yeah, I mean, the ball, he overran the ball. He was there. He didn't think he was going to get there, quite frankly.
And it is ruled an inside the park home run.
Boy, did you feel the momentum just go back the other way again?
Yes, sir, like a tide.
Boy, it just sucked the air out of that balloon, didn't it?
MJ Mariani comes up 1 for 3, 5-3. So much more comfy than 4-3. The solo home run can't hurt you now.
This is not an easy outfield to play in defense of Ken Key. It's very large. It's not as large as it used to be, but it's large, and the wind is always a factor, and you have to be aware of what it's going to do to a ball hit in your area.
Well, especially there's a strikeout for Howell, especially when a ball's hit in the gap and you have to go full tilt to get there. Like you said, when it came off the bat, it looked like it was a gap shot.
But you have to know with a left-hand hitter hitting that ball, it's going to spin to left field. It always does. It always will. And if you know that, you kind of have to start to put on the brakes a little bit as you're getting closer to the ball, because the ball's going to drift back over your head.
One gone here for Ryan Miner, who gets the big cut. 2 for 3, a double, and 2 RBIs on the night for the sophomore from Hammond, Oklahoma. Belying his .244 average. He's chopped towards short. Moore charges, throws, and got him. 2 gone. And we'll go to the number 9 man, the catcher Javier Flores, who's been starting to hit as the coaches had hoped, and that's obviously an Auburn fan very intensely staring in. And Redmond with the ever-present ice packs now. And there's Chip Glass, he of the inside the park home run. No wonder he leads the team in triples. Season and career, he can fly.
Oh man, he just wasn't going to stop. And when Key bobbled the ball, that was literally the key, and that's why Larry Cochell sent him.
They still had the shot if they make a good relay throw, but they didn't do that.
Part of the problem is when you're in an outfield position and the ball's hit out there, your first job is just to pick it up. And sometimes in the excitement of the situation and your excitement to get the ball in quickly, you take your eye off it and you leave the ball there, and then you have to go back and get it again. Well, that costs you steps.
Off-speed pitch goes high, 2-1 to Javier Flores.
That's why it's great to have guys that can run, because they put so much pressure on the defense. You have to do everything correctly.
2-2 after the swing and a miss. Auburn will get one more crack in the ninth. They came back from a 4-0 deficit to make it 4-3. Now they're down 5-3. And Powell certainly hoping they can come back and get the game for the ball club. This one's hit hard, but way foul off the right side. Halla, a sophomore from Birmingham, was a freshman All-American. Hit hard off the right side again. Blocked by Wagner. Has shown some nice leather down at first. Makes the play. The inning's over, but Chip Glass with the inside the park home run has given his club a 2-run bulge. 5-3 Oklahoma. The reason they lead by 2, that man in center field, Chip Glass, who victimized his counterpart with an inside the park home run. Let's take a look and listen.
Here's the key play. There's the bobble. That and the throw errant to the cutoff man enables Chip Glass to get to the plate. If he picks the ball up and hits the cutoff man, he has to stop at third. And with nobody out, Larry Cochell is not going to take a chance. But since they didn't execute that play properly, away he came. Well, boy, was he scooting.
More baseball, of course, coming your way tomorrow. Georgia Tech and Florida State, a winner's bracket game at 3:30 on ESPN. Then an elimination game tomorrow night. The defending national champion LSU Tigers against Cal State Fullerton. That will be on ESPN2 at 7:30. Hope you'll join us for that one. Dallin Ruck, who was a pinch hitter in the last inning, will lead it off here. Grounded to short. And once again, Auburn faced with the task of getting some people on base. Robert Lewis, he of the home run, waiting for his chance to hit again. But they've got a pinch hitter, Kevin Chabot, on deck in Lewis's place. That's pretty tough. Hit a home run and they pinch hit for you the next time up.
This is a tough league.
One and one to Babe Ruck. Pops this one foul out of play. 1-2. There is so much pressure to win that opening game. There is such an enormous difference between being in the winner's bracket and loser's bracket. Not just the game, but the pitching matchups and everything else that go with it. Ruck stays alive. Just got a piece of that one.
Plus, you always have the luxury in the winner's bracket to say to yourself, well, if we have a bad game, we're still in it. Once you get into that loser's bracket, there's no more bad games.
Now the bus is waiting for you. 1-2 to Ruck. Buckles misses outside. Bucky roughed up in his first inning of work in the 8th.
Yeah, you never know how that's going to affect the closer. I mean, he's been sailing along, and then all of a sudden he gets to the CWS and he gets in his first game and whap, whap, whap. He's not used to that. You never know how that's going to affect the kid.
Buckles out of your area, San Diego City Junior College. Well, that one really ran high. 3-2 to Ruck.
He does have a live fastball, but he's not locating it very well. He's missing by a lot when he misses, or he's missing out over the plate, which is even worse.
Here's the 3-2. Ripped, base hit past the diving Bellhorn. And that will bring the potential tying run to the plate. And the Auburn Tigers just don't quit. And it will be the pinch hitter, Kevin Chabot, a sophomore from Orlando, Florida, who will hit for Robert Lewis, who homered his last time up. But remember, he hit it against the left-hander.
Now, how big is that extra run? Takes the bunt play out of this inning, unless Chabot gets on, and then of course, it will be in effect again.
And would bring back the top of the order again. Chabot, a .294 hitter, has 12 home runs. Now, he will be in the starting lineup against right-handers. 56 RBIs, number 3 on the ball club. He's had a bicep strain and missed 7 of the last 9 games. You know, later in the series, you might even see him as a pinch hitter against a left-hander because he hits .417 against lefties. Breaking ball just missed the corner. 2-0.
This is what you want as a pinch hitter. 2-0 with a guy that throws fastballs.
And no action in the Oklahoma bullpen. Knuckle curve, broke a foot straight down, and he was right over top of it.
Here's the swing from Chabot, and as you mentioned, right over the top.
It's almost a helpless feeling. This one's tapped off the third base side. Could be a tough play. McNally will just have to eat it. And such are the gods of baseball. Just a little bleeder. And the potential tying run is at first base.
Here's the number down the third baseline. Mariani makes a good play and not throwing the ball away. He just pockets it, says, maybe we'll get a double play here. I'm not going to throw it away. Give him a big inning.
Good choice. And now back to the top of the order for Jay Wagoner, who is 2 for 4 and now has his season's average up to .411. Only the 5th player in Southeastern Conference history with 100 hits in a season. And Wittenberg has come in to run for Dallin Ruck. I mean, for Kevin Chabot, who just got the infield single. So Auburn pulling out all the stops here in the 9th. Throw back to second base, and they got it! What a throw from Javier Flores. And what a huge mistake for Dallin Ruck.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. Well, I'll tell you, one of the toughest things as a runner at second base, and you want to get a good jump in this situation when your hitter bunts the ball, that if he bunts through it or pulls the bat back, you can't tell. You're hung up in no man's land.
Boy, what a deflating play that is.
I know he looks like the bad guy in this situation, but it's a tough position to be in. He wants to get a good jump, and with aluminum, it's very tough to deaden the ball anyway. So you always want to get a good jump.
Wagoner in an 0-2 hole, and he delivers down the left field line. Fair ball into the corner. Wittenberg is on his way to third. He'll make it easily, and Wagoner is in there. Now what a huge play is that. That would have been the 4th run home. The tying run would have been at third base with nobody out. And Wagoner has had a great night with a bat. And Bucky Buckles has been rocked in his 1 1/3 innings of work.
You almost have to question the fact that Wagoner was going to be bunting anyway. He's their best hitter. Now, I know he's in the leadoff spot, and you're trying to get the 2 tying runs or the tying run to the in scoring position, but this is your best hitter.
Hitting .411. Here's another guy with a good night. Sean McNally, 3 for 4. He has singled his last 3 times up after striking out. This one gets away. Buckles is really struggling. It's 5-4, and the tying run goes to third. Holy cow.
You know, his knuckle curve is breaking so sharply that Flores can't handle it, and it's bouncing, and they're still hacking at it. Here you see the pitch, and it's going to be another knuckle deuce. And there it goes. And Flores actually is in pretty good position. He does everything he can. They're getting bad breaks. That ball's just ricocheting off. And now what do you do? Are you going to throw that knuckle curve again with another man at third?
Now the infield has to come in. Swing and a miss. Second wild pitch for Buckles. And McNally's just trying to figure out what he can do up there. He has had 2 ugly-looking swings at knuckle curves.
But he does have 3 hits, and he got a hit last time. So he's seen it.
0-2. Wagoner off third. Hit to the shortstop. The runner holds. They throw him out at first. So 2 gone. Wagoner had to stay at third with the infield in, and it will be all up to Mark Bellhorn. He is 0 for 4. He has fanned 3 times.
Boy, it doesn't get any better than this. If you don't like this game, you don't like baseball.
This is good stuff, partner. 5-4, top of the 9th. Tying run 90 feet away. Outside for a ball.
And you have to figure they've already scored 2 runs on wild pitches. So they don't need a hit here.
Chop toward short. Hills. Side up. Got it. So Buckles struggles, but gets it done. And Oklahoma hangs on by its fingernails for a 5-4 win to go into the winner's bracket here in the College World Series.
Mike, you talk about a nail biter. Wow. Oh, gosh. And then we talked about the Oklahoma defense. There's 2 balls. Routine, although they were to shortstop, that's not a routine situation. And Rich Hills came up with 2 nice plays. He looked the runner back to third on the first one, threw an off-balance P to first for the last out.
And here's 2 huge plays to contemplate. Glasses ruled inside the park home run in the top of the 9th on a ball that could have been caught. And Flores gunning down the base runner at second base for the first out in this inning. Otherwise, we're 5-5 and still playing baseball in Omaha.
This is unbelievable start for the College World Series.
Oklahoma winner 5-4 over Auburn. We'll be back to wrap it up from Omaha in a moment. In a thriller, Oklahoma beats Auburn in the opening round of the College World Series 5-4. The winning run came in the bottom of the 8th. First, let's tell you our Reebok player of the game, Mark Redmond, who had 7+ strong innings, 11 strikeouts, tied a career high, gave up only 2 runs, but it got a lot closer after he left the ball game. And the man who saved it, Chip Glass, who gets an inside the park home run in the bottom of the 8th to make it 5-3 instead of 4-3. Crushed it to right center, but Key appeared to overrun the ball as the wind took it back towards center field. And there was no stopping Glass as Key bobbled it, then made the bad relay throw. And Glass had already belly flopped across the plate by the time the ball got there. Let's check in with Larry Conley, who is second place in our MVP balloting tonight after that earlier feature, and he's down there with some happy Sooners.
Well, thank you, Mike. It's very nice of you. That was very hard for me to do. I want you to know. Chip Glass, I've got to ask you a question. First off, did you see the ball go off the center fielder's glove?
Yeah, I saw it hit off his glove, and then after that, I was just, listening to the coach, running as hard as I could, and he waved me home.
Well, both Fred and Mike were talking about your unbelievable speed going around the bases. Was there ever any doubt after you hit the first base bag that you were going to try for it?
After I missed it, I knew I was going to try for it, and coach waved me home, and I made it.
Did you feel comfortable knowing that relay was coming? You didn't see them bobble the relay.
No, I didn't. So I didn't know where the ball was coming. I was just looking to my the players behind me, and they were they telling me to get down, so I just slid home.
Did you realize how big a run that really was, considering what Auburn did there in the 9th?
Well, I knew it was going to be a big run because they're a good ball club. We got to get as many as we can, or they're going to come back on us. So.
Okay, great. Let me talk to Coach Cochell right now. Could I get Larry Cochell, the coach here? Let me go back to Mike and we'll come back.
All right, thank you very much, Larry. We remind you that we will bring you some more college baseball tomorrow from the College World Series on ESPN. Game number 5 in the series. The Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech 1-0 against the undefeated Seminoles of Florida State. That's a winner's bracket game on ESPN starting at 3:30 Eastern. And then we will be back on the Deuce tomorrow night for an elimination game. LSU and Cal State Fullerton. And back to Larry Conley. Larry?
Mark Redmond here with me. Coach Cochell will be right after him. Mark, obviously you had it rolling awfully good tonight for 7 2/3 with 11 strikeouts. Then you begin to lose it a little bit in that 7th, huh?
Yeah, I just had to go out and pitch my game today and establish my fastball early and just go right after batters and get ahead of them. And that's my game today. You know, I had success with it.
Great. Okay, listen, congratulations and good luck to you in the next one.
Thanks a lot.
Mike, Fred?
All right, thanks very much, Larry Conley. And Chip Glass with the inside the park home run in the 8th provides the winning margin. In just a wonderfully exciting ball game, there is Glass with the winning run. Speed kills at any level. 5-4, Oklahoma over Auburn. Thanks for watching, everybody. For Larry Conley and Fred Lynn, this is Mike Patrick. Good night.